My name is Tessa Grady. I'm 28, living alone in a tiny Chicago apartment with radiator heat that clangs like it's arguing with itself. 3 weeks ago, I drove 4 hours to my parents' house for what my mother called our early Christmas dinner, even though it was Thanksgiving. It's easier, she'd insisted. Everyone's off. I almost turned around twice. But guilt is a powerful navigator. It kept my hand steady on the wheel. I showed up with a homemade pumpkin pie and a smile I didn't feel. Dinner blurred into football noise and overlapping conversations. I remember the sharp taste of cranberry sauce and the way Brooke and Leia kept talking over me like I was background music. I told myself I was imagining it. I always tell myself that. When the plates were cleared, Mom stood up and clapped her hands like she was hosting a game show. "I have something for everyone," she announced. She brought out a glossy bag filled with wrapped gifts and started distributing them with ceremony. Dad got a new golf shirt. Uncle Wade got a bottle of expensive wine. Brooke and Leia each got bracelets and a spa certificate. They squealed and hugged her. Cameras came out. It was a performance of love. I waited. There had to be something for me. The bag went empty. Mom didn't look at me. "Is there one for me?" I asked lightly, like we were all in on the same joke. She didn't blink. "Be grateful you can sit here," Uncle Wade laughed first. "Be glad we still remember your name." The table erupted. My face burned, but I nodded once. "Good to know." I left early, drove back to Chicago in the dark. The highway stretched empty in front of me, and somewhere around mile marker 80, something inside me went still.t home. I dropped my keys on the counter, threw the untouched pumpkin pie into the trash, and slid down to the kitchen floor with my phone in my hand. I stared at the screen like it might tell me how to stop wanting something they were never going to give. I opened the family group chat. My thumbs hovered. I could already hear the responses. Dramatic. Sensitive. Can't take a joke. Instead, I called Marin. She picked up on the second ring. I told her everything. The gift parade, the line about being grateful for a chair, Uncle Wade turning my name into a punchline. She was quiet for a second, then said, "Tessa, that's not a joke, that's contempt." While she stayed on the line, I opened my banking app. The numbers stared back at me like a ledger of unspoken resentment. Mom's yoga studio membership, Dad's streaming bundle, the Prime account half my relatives used, last-minute concert tickets for Brooke, gas money for Leia, dinners I'd covered because I made more and it was easier. Every charge had a memory attached. Every memory ended with me swallowing my irritation and telling myself this is what family does. "What if you just stop paying?" Marin said. No announcement, no speech, just stop. That weekend, I sat at my kitchen table with a legal pad and wrote down every autopay, every subscription, every "I'll pay you back." Then I started clicking cancel, remove card, turn off renewal. Confirmation emails stacked in my inbox like tiny doors shutting. By Monday afternoon, Mom called. My gym card was declined, she snapped. Dad texted that the TV service needed updating. The group chat filled with vague posts about loyalty and selfishness. I muted it. Marin sent me a screenshot. Brooke's Instagram story. Black background. White text. Some people cut off blood over money. Relatives chimed in with applause. Emoji as.so. I pulled 5 years of transactions, built a spreadsheet, and emailed it to the family with one sentence. "Please look at who's been taking care of whom." 2 Saturdays later, my buzzer screamed through the apartment. "Tessa, honey, open up. We brought gifts." I froze. I hadn't told them my address for visits. They must have gotten it from Dad's old paperwork. I didn't buzz them in. I stood behind my door, deadbolt thrown. Perfectly still. "Tessa?" Mom called through the intercom. "We drove all this way. We brought you something." Through the peephole, I saw her clutching a glossy gift bag. Dad stood beside her, jaw tight. "I'm not doing this," I said through the door. "Leave." Her tone snapped instantly. "After what you did? Canceling things without warning? Sending that disgusting email?" "The email with receipts," I asked. "The ones you've been happy to use?" Dad leaned closer to the door. "Open up. We're family." Thanksgiving flashed through me. The laughter, the chair, the way they'd made me feel optional. My hand tightened around my phone. Family doesn't make you beg for a seat, I said. Family doesn't spend. You and call it love. Mom knocked harder, the gift bag crinkling. You wanted presents, didn't you? Attention. I wanted an apology, I said. And respect. Dad's voice dropped into command mode. This ends now. You're coming home for Christmas. No, I said, steady and loud. You don't get to order me. I called building security. When the guard arrived, Mom tried to cry. Dad tried to argue. The guard looked at them, then at my closed door. She asked you to leave, he said. You leave. They rode the elevator down in silence. I waited until I heard the lobby door shut before my shoulders started shaking. That night, I emailed management about a no trespass notice. I blocked a few numbers. I booked my first therapy appointment. Marin came over with takeout and cheap wine. We watched dumb movies and let the quiet settle around us. For the first time, it didn't feel like punishment. It felt like space. And in that space, I realized something simple and steady. I don't have to pay for a seat at a table that keeps trying to erase me.